if I have certain things in front of me, I can see when and where all things are considered. The right title's on, that's one of those things you always worry about.
Open up with a posture check.
Oops. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. Just click everywhere but where we're going. And then the world slowly set aflame. And the future refused to change. But why is that? Not a problem. Not my problem. Well, it is my problem. But not my problem right now because... Hello everyone, I'm 80 Springer, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour. And we're doing another episode of Fabula Ultima, the castle that would pierce the horizon. Let us get right into her. Upon the peak of Novio's crest, where molten rivers never rest, a fireborn titan fiercely dwells, whose fury tolls like hammered bells. Once a guardian, proud and true, for Coriastellum's noble few, its blazing wings would shield the skies and drive back all who dared arise. The kings of old, with whispered greed, sought Pyrion's might for their own need. Bound by spell and cruel design, they chained the heart of flame divine. But fire, though bridled, does not break. Its embers stir, its vengeance wake. Through centuries of mortal strife, it bides its time, it claims its life. Now Novia trembles, the mountains quake, Pyrion's wrath begins to wake. Its eyes, twin suns, scorch all they see. Its voice declares no man is free. Beware the roar, the flame-born tide, for even stone cannot abide. It calls the worthy to its lair, to face the trial and prove their care. For not with swords nor shields of steel can heroes bend the Arcanum's will, but those with hearts of selfless flame may yet survive and earn its name. O Pyrion, ancient, wrathful spark, a beast of light within the dark, shall heroes bind or earn its trust, or crumble beneath its fiery gust? So tread with caution, bold and wise, for in its lair no falsehood lies. The fire judges, fierce yet pure, and only truth can hope to endure.
Another beautiful poem. Thank you, Corby.
App will slowly load in. Cue the little spinny thing in the corner.
Beach ball of death.
Boy, there's a reference.
Boop. So, last we had left you in your trials and tribulations, you had passed by noble creatures, fire spirits and nymphs, pixies across cinder forests, across the mountains many, getting through the passes and across the ranges, approaching the great Mount Novio.
I believe we're all still injured from having been defeated before as well. So everybody should be at around their around
Well,
their
we took
crisis number.
we rested.
We rested.
Yeah, we did a full rest.
Oh, well then my character sheet was completely wrong for some reason.
Yeah, although I think you might have used some resources for something. I can't remember.
Okay.
I don't know if you did, but if like your hit points are down, I don't think we were in a position to lose any hit points.
Okay. Yeah. Well, my sheet might have been unupdated. I guess that was just. I'll fix it.
So, yeah, no, you shouldn't be hurt right now.
Okay,
Some inventory points might be spent, but
right. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm down 3 inventory points, but otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, I think we were down some inventory points, but I think that was like it.
Okay.
so I don't believe you did a voyage roll past this point, past the cinder wood.
Yeah, I think we were gonna we were getting ready to. Well, I think going into this hex, we rolled the encounter, and that made us have to deal with the Cinder Forest.
Yep.
Right. The last thing we did was get past it. I used a ritual to, or I used my ability to speak with elementals to get us through safely. Although
Yeah.
it
Right.
also took some convincing of them since they only trusted me and not the rest of you.
Yeah.
But we made it, and then we passed through the hex. Right.
And so now, to navigate your way to the next area, the question is, what direction do you want to try to go next?
I thought we decided we're going directly west and then southwest. Is that right? Because we were worried that if you came down, there's a chance you might run into enemies that are looking for you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna say insight is part of it. As you're beginning to navigate your way through the mountains, I'm gonna give a +2, due to the fact that you guys have a pretty good map and various resources to kind of help you on your way.
I'll take this.
And I will help.
So this will be with a +4 because I'm doing insight, and I have a special lore master thing for it.
I guess you
I
don't
was-
need my help.
I don't think help will help.
19
Any further? Yeah.
19
That's
will
what I
do
thought.
it. 19 will do it. So now we resolve the travel roll as you go through the mountains. And it'll be stepped down by 1, since you are... it would be a d20, because of how close you are to Mount Novio. But it's pulled down to d12 due to the wayfaring ways of Zevin Demeril.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Boy.
a discovery.
Oh boy.
Cool. What'd you find for a 7?
So as you're getting closer and closer still, you actually find yourself at a... You end up having to go up a rather high rise through the mountains. So high that it actually starts to get snowy and cold and icy, which is remarkable given how prevalent the fire element is near Mount Novio. So you're incredibly high up with what few ice elements deign to remain here. A sort of bastion of cold, where winter is able to show its face in Coriastellum. And the discovery is that you find in this place you come upon a sort of overlook point, an ancient tower that once probably existed in the era of the Sorcerer Kings. And this is attributed to Zevin Demeral's familiarity with ancient technologies and ancient structures. So she's able to kind of spot it a lot sooner. And kind of, rather than looking for an ideal campsite, you kind of find an existing structure, since a lot of the Countless Realms is dotted by the rise and fall of empires, magical and not. And I'll mark that on the map, because it's a good thing to know that's there.
Oh, interesting. That's right next to the mountain. Does it look like this tower was like built to keep a sight line on the mountain? Because I assume I can see Novio from here.
Speaking of, insight's going to be part of it as you try to puzzle out the tower's purpose.
Cool.
And origin.
Cool. I still get the +2 because of my thing, my lore master thing.
What did we do with the opportunity, though?
The opportunity?
Oh, what an opportunity. What's a one give? A discovery. That's right.
Yeah, that's what this is.
I just spaced out. Don't mind me.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to spend a Fabula towards my origin, the Noble Republic of Coriostellum, to reroll that 10, that D10 that rolled a 1. Okay, 7 plus 5 is 12 plus 2. That's 14. Additionally, this is why I wanted to do this, and kind of why it's worth it for me to do this.
Flash of Insight. Oh, so you can ask an extra question about this, or you can save it for later to ask about this.
Yes.
I wanted to truthfully and describe your character's deductive process. It can only be used on once per same creature. Okay, very good.
It seemed
Save it.
worth it. Yeah, I mean, I might save the question depending on what I get, but
Sure.
Yeah.
So for where the party is, you can see the bright, roaring plume of smoke and fire from Mount Novio from where you are. You're basically one major peak away. You basically you're at an ascent and you have to descend down from where you are to get all the way to the next base camp, as it were, or base camp point, and then rise up the rest of the way to into Mount Novio proper. And this
It's visible from here. But it is visible from here.
Very visible, very visible. You can see that it's almost like from this point, there are this tower. You can also see.
Oh, can we see the next hex is over?
We'll use the map.
Oops, almost copied too many. You see another ancient tower that way.
Oh. I actually have a question then.
Yep.
I think unless you have more information for me, I think I know what my question's gonna be.
As long as that answered your, I've answered your first question so far. The initial reason for the roll.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, how high did you get total?
I
14.
rolled a 14 total
14.
because I need to roll a 13 in order to get my special thing.
Right. So this structure is a build, as I said before, from the era of the Sorcerer Kings, and it very much has the hallmarks. It has those cornerstones of Coristellum engineering, the ancient, the founding blocks of what would make Corio early in its empire, and it very rapidly expanded out into the mountains and across the peninsula, and beyond, obviously. But it obviously has magic forging it. And this is probably the first time you've ever seen, and this is what will be unique because you hit 13. What's unique is that most things, whether by engineering or magic, Coriastellum has always been focused on the fire element. They're very much a fire empire, even if they're not magical.
You could say that we're a fire nation.
You could
And then
say
they
that,
attack.
but here there is an obvious understanding of ice magic and earth magic. So there's a certain sophistication of mastery of magic that one would not expect of Coriastellum, since it is posited that Coriastellum was primarily a fire-only magic kingdom, and then it was overcome by a technological revolution.
Mm-hmm. Can I determine, this will be my question, can I determine why these two towers are here? Like, I could reckon that this tower is probably here to either keep an eye on Mount Novio, to be close to Mount Novio. That's obvious. Why is there a second? What would be the purpose of having a second tower like this so close to the first one?
Given you think about it, and towers in general, in the countless realms, in general, are placed at its most basic on the premise of watching your territory. Watching for bandits, watching for borders, as a sort of simple fortification. But in the more magical sense, in the eras of high magic, which is common throughout the countless realms, towers could also be used as mage towers and magi towers. And in some of the writings that you may have seen hints and glimpses of from the Sultanate, there are talks of the concept of magical railways or artificial ley line structures. The problem is that would require it being linked to be worth your time. You'd either have to be on an existing ley line network or near a place of great magical power, and you would link it to another place of great magical power, and that would kind of maintain the conduit.
So artificial ley lines drawing on the power of the mountain?
As you notice that they seem to be aligned just so.
Oh, that's awesome. Seven, I need you to tell me if I'm completely correct about this. And he pulls out the map and he makes sort of a motion across the lines. See how like the ley lines over here intersect, and he points to a couple of like the commonly used lines, right? Well, if you know more about magical artificery, but if one were to say have a point of intense magic of some sort, say for instance, for no particular reason, elemental magic, right about here, and he points to where Mount Novio is, and you were to build some kind of uh, artificery structure here, and he points to those. What would be the result?
Probably all drawn from the same power source, huh? Because this one's drawing from that, and then from that. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I do think I'm thinking what you're thinking.
Huh.
Incredible. To think that the Sorcerer Kings of old were able to create artificial ley lines. But for what purpose? This could be the find of the decade.
Well, gee, I guess I'm out of a job then. Well, you want to tune up my gun?
I was just going to say, I hate to interrupt your reverie, but what does it have to do with our current mission?
Well, as said, it seems to be drawing, or at least designed to draw energy from the mountain. It could very well have something to do with our mission. Hence why I think it in our interest to explore this tower somewhat.
I guess if it won't take long.
Besides, I think it would be in our interest to find a place to lay down for the night, and I think I would rather a structure created by the incredible Coriostellum of old than a tiny little tent. No offense, Lady Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't Coriostellum, what were they really Corio folk? I would say they were not, because Corio didn't exist yet. They were just the ancient sorcerer kings.
The Sorcerer Kings built Corio. It's not a thing many people go around telling, but that's the truth of it, Umbrinius points out.
Well, I'll just shrug and say, sorry, aren't a lot of history classes in the Darklands. I wasn't aware of that.
Most people outside of Coriostellum, people within Coriostellum sometimes don't know that. So it's a fair error to make.
All right.
I'm aware of it.
Well, I suppose it's also true we could find things of value there as well. And I know
Yes.
some of us are still looking to pad out our finances or locate cool objects and items too. The structure may well have some of those, so I guess
Yes.
it's not a bad idea if we're
Yes.
not in a tearing hurry.
Yes, if my letter manages to make it back to my cousin unharmed, I should have bought us some time.
And those poor fools might even survive. All right, well, let's do this then. I'm going to take out my my staff and I'm going to prime it for physical.
You feel the staff kind of weigh a bit more at the clubbing end, and you feel it lean a little bit in your grasp, as it's meant to kind of wallop into things rather than do anything fancy with magic. It's like, no, I'm just a big old lump of magical metal. I'm gonna baff you.
Yep. And then I'll, put it away.
Iron.
Get my shield ready.
You cast iron.
It's prepped for heavy physical damage.
The tower looms as if molded like clay out of the mountains, and then very carefully with a giant's might carved out the crenellations and little murder windows and a nice glassy, icy door. And Brinius comments, I sincerely hope they did not have ballista back in the up there, because that would be a great place to put it, right up top, or some sort of boiling oil trap.
Well,
I mean, they probably don't work anymore, so.
Well, I mean, if they were made by the sorcerer kings of old, I think you'd have mainly had to be worried about sorcerers who could cast spells which affect all targets that they can see. Standing on top of the tower, they could hit a whole army.
Oh. Which means we might be lucky and there's nothing up there. They expected to have magi up there. Not
Right.
equipment.
And if we go in and if my hope is correct in that this place's remoteness means that it is relatively untouched, this might make for a good fortification to base ourselves out of.
I mean, personally, I wanted to see if there are any good weapons in there. Like last time we were there, there were a bunch of, questionable things. But maybe this one will be different.
Yeah, maybe this time we'll actually get out with some loot and gear and not a lot of lumps. Why don't we approach stealthily? What do y'all say?
I just want to approach a tower stealthily. The ground's clear in all directions. I don't even know if anyone's in there.
Well, then we just boldly walk up, but wait until the sun's starting to go down?
Let's go now.
Let's go. I get my shield ready, like I said.
Yep, as does Lucius, keeping an eye out for threats.
I'll take the lead so that if we get attacked, I can guard for people.
This sounds like a dex sort of check.
Okay.
From everyone?
One leads, the rest assist.
I'll
My
lead.
dex is deep.
Okay,
Yeah.
you go ahead and lead. I'll help.
Rolls I want. I do not help.
I shall attempt to help. Hey, I'm helpful.
Roll
A 10.
carefully. Pick your way across the rocks, the snowy ground, feeling the stabbings of wind and chill, and trying not to knock aside too much rock, too much snow. Stopping every so often to kind of wait to see if anything changes. Then creeping forward, stop. Creeping forward, stop. And then run until you're right up to the door. Huh. Either there's nothing here to see you, or nothing saw you. But
Or
at the
they
very
were
least,
laughing.
nothing's happened.
Right.
You're at the door.
I'll see if it's locked.
You push at the door
Gently.
and feel it is incredibly heavy.
Okay. Does
You
it
will
feel
need
like it may be barred?
you will need some sort of might check to try to see if the door's even locked. Because if it may be unlocked and just be a very heavy door.
Right. Would y'all mind if I lead on this one then?
Yeah, you lead.
Or is someone stronger than I?
I think you're the strongest.
Pardon?
Last time I checked, you were the strongest.
I think so. I'm only average, but still. Okay. I'll give it a shove. Anybody want to help me shove it?
Yeah.
Open?
We probably all
Couple-
should.
Couple people
Yeah.
with extra backs could probably get the job done for sure.
Oops, wrong book. This one, not that one. There you go.
I know with
I'll do-
Lucius that means ordering his minions to help, but still.
Yeah.
I'll do an indoor check. Ah, yeah, that tracks.
You push. You think you're moving. You think you're moving. Wait, no, you're not. Well, you are, except it's your feet sliding underneath you as you're pushing with. You're all pushing with all your might that you can, and then you're just kind of slide. Your feet just kind of glide and slide a little bit, and
On the
yeah,
ice.
this door ain't moving for nothing.
12
It's
wasn't
probably
enough, huh?
frozen. It may be frozen shut, or
Okay.
it's so heavy that you just don't have the strength to push it open, or possibly it's barred. It's hard to tell. You're not hearing anything. There's no. The only feedback you're getting is that you're putting all your weight and kind of smashing into it a bit, and it's just not moving.
Well, this is a place that was created by the Sorcerer Kings of old. I'm afraid I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with the architecture, but we do have someone here who knows a thing or two about um, such arcane technologies. Seven, what do you make of this door?
Let's see.
Ah, yes, the age-old tabletop RPG chestnut. Doors.
Well, at least we're not endlessly deciding whether or not we should check it for traps. We're just trying to open it.
Seven's deploys her little drone to kind of scan the whole thing.
Um.
What's the door even made of? You said ice before?
Or stone?
I will call upon Zevin Demeril to give me insight. I'm gonna give +2 because you're using the drone to use this little scanner to scan the door.
Ooh.
Well, I already rolled and got 11, so I suppose that makes it 13. That
Yep.
+2.
It would.
Can I assist?
You can try.
I think at 13 there's no reason to go higher, is there?
16 is the highest you can get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once you break 16, there's not a great reason to keep going.
Yep.
I shall attempt to assist.
Same.
I am not helpful.
Me
Oh,
either.
well then we can't hit it.
14. So Zevin Demeril, between yourself and Lucius, you're able to discern with the drone's scans. You are able to determine that this is at its base, at its core, it is made of various stone, like the mountains around you, carved in a certain way, but enchanted with a combination of ice magic and earth magic to make it more resilient and heavy. And that's just getting 10 at all. 7 would just tell you it's magical. But 13 tells you that this would normally be opened by magical means or with a magical tool. Like, it's not something one would normally be able to push open by physical force. Yeah.
Ether.
My ears perk up.
Perhaps this door would react to that lovely scepter that we picked back up in Corio.
You mean my weapon?
Yes, your weapon.
I'll dig it out and think to myself, one day this will be known as Aether's scepter, not the rod of Coriastellum. That day is not today. One day far in the future, perhaps. And I will take it out, and as I approach, I remember that you said something about it being enchanted with a combination of ice and earth magic.
Mm-hmm.
But at first, I'm going to hold it up and see if it reacts to the weapon as it is, and if it doesn't, then I will try shifting its modes between ice and earth and see if it reacts to that while I hold it.
So how do you just like hover it in front of the door? Do you like tap
Well,
it?
I'm going to look at the door and see if there's a place where I might, like an indentation or a place where you might intentionally place it. If I don't see anything, then I'll just gently touch it against the surface.
Insight is part of it. No
Okay.
bonus here, but no penalty either.
Really?
Well, you do have the ring, right?
Yeah, the ring always adds +1. Boy, I need that. So, 12. That's a pretty average roll, too. There's no point in spending to get higher, because I'd just as likely roll worse. 12, get anything?
You can discern that it's doing something, but you're not sure which combination you're supposed to do. Like, it's reacting to what you're doing, but you're not sure if you're supposed to hit it in a certain way, in a certain pattern, or maybe you're supposed to use a different element first. You try a couple times. You do, and then it occurs to you that that the staff wasn't really meant to be a key to do it, but it's a way that you could do it. It's kind of
Universally capable of it, right?
I wouldn't go that far. I'd say it's more like it's the difference between using a key in a lock to open it and jamming a screwdriver into the key lock and just banging into it until it gives. It's just that you're not sure how to force the lock. You know it
Okay.
could open it, but you're not sure what that oomph is yet.
Well, I'll tell everybody else, and maybe if we work together, we can puzzle it out. My thought is that it's maybe a specific order or location or both of where and when I activate the elements, since I can change the elements of the item as an action while I use it. But maybe if we all work together on the problem, we can figure out the order. Do we see anything on the door that might give away a place where it's supposed to have a tool attached to activate it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
Actually,
what is it?
I
a
will
door?
correct myself. A Fabula could be spent to alter the setting to have that be true.
I see. Well, I happen to have plenty of them, so I'm going to throw one out.
To what
I'm going to
trait?
alter the scene so that I can figure this out.
To what trait? Why is this true?
That would be my curious creature trait.
Take that from you.
Also, truth seeking. Both of them are pretty good for that, I think.
You do see that there is a not so much a keyhole per se, or an indent. It's an indent for like a caster to lay hands and do some sort of ritual, and that's
Okay.
probably as close as you're gonna get to a spot to aim and add. You know, that's probably the part that's wanting you to do something, rather than the seam of the door or the bottom of the door or something like that.
Right. Okay, well, I'm going to hold the staff in one hand and go over to that spot and put my other hand in the indentation. And I'm going to call out to the others. I think this is it. Help me figure out what the correct order of elements is. You mentioned that it used some combination of ice and earth magic. Can you give me a little more detail on that?
What was it that I determined? I determined that this place was formed using a combination of ice and earth magic, and that was it, right?
Well, it was 7, really, but yeah. Maybe 7 would be able to guess more with their knowledge.
Could I have my
Okay.
little drone do a little more of an in-depth scan?
I would say to you that this does seem to be made of that your drone told you that it was made of stone initially, and then it was reinforced with ice magic and earth magic. Ice magic to withstand the intense cold and also draw upon the natural magic in the area, but also earth magic to make it heavier.
Can the magic be temporarily disrupted?
Oh.
Like
Maybe we
interrupted? Yeah.
Wait, maybe we have to use opposite magics to
Oh,
counter
that's a
the
good thought.
effects. Because it's ice magic to keep it like safe from the cold, so we'd use fire magic to warm it, and then
Air
wind magic
to make it lighter.
to make it lighter.
Yeah, okay. I'll give that a shot. I'll put my hand in the indentation, and then I'll change the object to fire and will it to warm the stone, hopefully. And then after an action, I will change it to air and attempt to make it lighter and hope that this functions. Do you need a roll out of me for these ideas, or
I certainly do. Willpower.
willpower? Okay. Well, I don't suck at that at least. So, oh baby, 16.
Mwah.
You're able to focus the energy out from the staff and through yourself, which is actually pretty difficult because you're not a spellcaster by nature. You in the magic you use isn't the way of
Sorcerer King, right?
of Sorcerer Kings. It's the way of the creatures of the world, which is a different thing. But you're able to figure the source. Thankfully, it seems that you have a familiarity and connection with the staff a bit, and with everyone else's helping you focus, you're able to first warm the door, and you see ice sheets melting off and crackling off, and then splashing down as a sort of lukewarm water, melting some of the snow and spidering out as the various bits of snow and ice give way. And when you push air into it, it actually lifts the door up. As you now realize, pushing on it would have never worked. It had to be lifted straight up.
Like it was in a groove or something. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Well, when we finish and I get it open, as I start to gently push the door open, I'll look back at Lucius and say, "I wouldn't drink that water if I were you." At all the ice that had melted off onto it, you know.
Bibius has a hand dipped into the melting water and then removes his hand sheepishly.
Like, don't lick the doorknobs. Yeah.
Gross ditch water.
Don't lick
Sounds
the
like
doorknobs.
All right.
Well, so
When I'm
yellow.
done, I will re-will the staff back to physical and put it away.
Is the door gonna slam down and crush someone?
I
Let's
hope
not
not.
wait around to find out.
Yeah.
Let's move.
I open it up and we go in, so I hope it doesn't crush us or anything. I mean, if nothing else, we can open it again if it closes. Y'all think I should, like, relock it again?
Let's all get inside first.
Well, yes. I'm thinking it may not be a good idea to lock it. Because what if we have to get out of here fast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's leave it for now.
If it resets itself, though, at least we know how to open it.
It slams down and you're set into darkness.
Oh, wonderful.
Seven, your
right.
torch.
I
I'll get
like
my
to
little-
imagine.
My little lantern.
Yep, you have your little lantern archon.
Yeah,
Spend,
I like to.
Yeah.
Sorry, 10 seconds.
I like to imagine the couple of seconds before you turn that on, we all have like the eyes in the
Cartoon
dark,
eyeballs. Yeah,
cartoon eyeballs in the dark bit
sure.
for like 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is the hour on?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend that 1 IP for my little lantern.
The little arcane lantern illuminates the chamber around you. And the chamber glitters in flashes of blue and white as embossments against the icy, stony interior, impossibly carved with impossible precision. This impossible in the sense that if one were to stone carve such things, it would take a measurable amount of time. One would need either incredible technology or very advanced magic to get that level of detail. As you see, there's various depictions of the surroundings. The horizon you saw before, but in embossment against the walls.
I was thinking that, or an artisan with nothing but years of time on his hand.
Try centuries.
Yeah.
Millennia.
Well, I mean, you look up the Sistine Chapel, and I'd think that that would have taken centuries, but apparently it only took a guy like 30 years. But yeah, I know what you mean.
And so you can see that it is facing the south, the west, the east, the north walls. This central chamber has a large floor, and at your feet there is a massive emblem that you're all able to kind of quickly gather is an ancient symbol for ice.
Is there a map you were going to move us to for this, or?
No, you're fine where you are.
Cool.
Oh, well, I wasn't there. I didn't know where we were. Sorry.
And you see on the floor the emblem, the ancient emblem for ice, and then a sort of massive square containing it. In rather what seems to be decorative. None of you have the ritual for this, so you wouldn't know what this... It's some sort of ritual circle, but it's not a ritual any of you practice. You do see that there is a long stairway that goes up north wall, then turns 90 degrees along the next wall, and then it goes up and up and up and up and up and up.
Which wall is the door in?
In the south wall.
Okay.
Lucius just sort of walks around and says, "Ah, incredible."
I'm gonna search the ground and see if there's a way down as well, just in case.
Insight's part of it.
Isn't it just breathtaking?
Reminds me of that other spire we visited, you know?
It's pretty.
Oh, 17. Searching around to see if there's also a secret compartment or passageway downward into anything like that.
It would appear that this the floor does show signs that were this seal upon the floor not there, it would likely reveal something below you. Whether that's a room or door or a pit, probably not a pit, because otherwise how do you get up and down the stairs?
Right.
Unless the stairs go down and down and down. But it's almost like this is what you're standing on isn't a true floor. It is an ensorcelled floor.
Right. Got it. Okay. Well, I'm going to point out that I believe there may be something below us as well. Maybe just a wine cellar, maybe more, I don't know. But it looks to me like this floor is an artificial construct, magical wall, floor of force or something of that nature. Or a wall of force turned sideways, maybe? I don't know. Magically constructed? Hard to say. Definitely bears more investigation. Maybe you can scan the floor with your drone?
I could try, but no guarantees it'll get any sort of match.
Sure. Probably figure out more than I can, though, with just my eyes.
Alright, GM?
Yeah.
Can I check my little drone of it?
The scans do reveal some sort of magical flooring, or magical barrier. Though you're usually used to the magical barrier being something like a door or a wall, not a floor. That's what's really confusing.
Yeah, no, he doesn't like detecting it because it's not like a vertical surface. There's a big bug with the program. You'll need to readjust the gyroscope. She snatches the little drone out of the air and starts tinkering with it right there on the spot.
Beep boop.
Okay.
Beep boop.
I would like to go and examine the stairs while she's tinkering with the drone and see if it looks like the stairs actually might go down into the floor in a semi-artificial manner, or if the floor is flush with the stairs.
It seems to be flush.
Okay. Well, it's well.
Though
made,
your
but-
roll from earlier suggests that it's possible it goes down. But if you hadn't looked for that before, you wouldn't see anything wrong. It's only
Right,
because
right.
you know the floor is ensorcelled.
Only because I already suspect this, right?
Yep.
Well, I'll point that out to the others and say this is masterfully done, but I think you can see if you look carefully here at the height of the last set of steps on the staircase versus the floor versus the height of all the other steps. There's like maybe a half an inch shorter. So it looks like the steps do indeed go a little bit, like they keep going down, maybe. Hard to say for sure, but possible.
Go catch. Seven like pulls a little ratchet and starts like the little drone is like struggling in her hands.
Mhm.
Oh.
If it could feel pain,
It's like-
It's a good thing I didn't make it be able to feel pain.
that's good. 'Cause you're not a monster.
Oh, jeez.
They say
It's
that
like
for the
trying-
soldier drones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that's dark.
Important
I-
function for a soldier to know when it's injured, though.
I imagine Seven is wrestling with it, like trying to put like a cat in a carrier.
Yeah.
Do I think that all the markings on the floor might have some clue as to how to operate, making it, open or close the way up, the way down?
It would appear that you could force because you have an understanding of basic ritualism, because anything that can do rituals can do ritualism
Right.
normally. You probably could try to force this thing to not be there or act differently. You would need to throw a fair amount of mana into it. How much mana? Good question. Glad you asked it. About 60
Basically, I can-
about 60 mana points, and with a difficulty level of 10.
Okay, so I could basically work a ritual to control the door.
Yeah, to
Or
make it
just-
work
just
differently
turn
than it
on
normally
and off.
does. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna call that out to everybody and say I think if I, get to work on this thing, spend a lot of energy, I might be able to get control of functioning this floor. Do y'all want me to take out the staff and take out my junk? Wiggle my fingers and ooga booga and work on the problem, or do we want to just go up and investigate and leave the floor for later?
I say we
Go ahead, Lucius.
explore what we can first before we take any risks.
Okay.
What's the saying about pulling out the rug from under your feet?
Right. If we do it early, then it can't happen when we're not ready for it. That's a good point. Okay, in that case, I will take out the staff and I'll take out my various ritualism objects and I'll begin pacing the room and I'll place little objects at different corners of the room and build like a little, I guess you'd say a chimerist room out of little natural objects that I place around the floor in different places until I can put together the basics that I need for the ritual. And then I'll sit in the middle of the room and begin concentrating on it.
This is an insight willpower check.
Wait, are
Okay.
we doing it now?
Yeah.
Apparently, it looks like she's about to.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I literally asked if we want to do it now or not. Okay, When I'm done, I'd like to get up and go stand on the bottom stair of the staircase and ask everybody else to get on the stairs as well. That way, if the floor just goes away, y'all don't all fall.
Yeah, the question is, can we get back to the door if we remove the floor?
Maybe
If the floor, if you have control of the floor,
it won't be
it
a
should be fine. If the floor catastrophically vanishes, no. You'd have to climb the wall to get to the door.
I wonder what might cause something like that to happen.
Well, we can
I
always
wonder.
before I finish this, you can always attach a rope with a grappling hook to the bottom of the door now and just leave it strung. And then if the floor goes away, you can climb the rope. Right?
Sure, you could do that.
I'll let her set that up if she wants to, and then finish the ritual.
Corby's, you can certainly try energy.
Yes, I got a lot of that too. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna charge you a inventory point for a appropriate like grappling hook and pittons and certain rope, and so you get it nice and secure. There won't be any check. It's just having the right equipment on hand to kind of very securely go. No, we have a way to get to that door.
I'll use my inventory points since it was my idea. Okay.
As you dig it out.
So you guys don't have to worry about that. And then I'll make my roll for the ritual. Wish me luck, everybody. Oh, that is a terrible roll. It is not a critical failure, though, so I want to spend towards
Just
my...
barely.
Yeah, I know. I will spend towards my truth-seeking.
I follow you. Yep.
There you go.
No.
Oh, I laid one out for you.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yep. And
Now
then,
it works.
reroll
Now
that.
it works.
Yeah. And that one's going to be like a complete reroll because that was terrible. Oh, there we go. 13.
Also, just question: does your +1 only happen on insights?
No, it happens with any open roll.
Oh, just any open roll. Cool.
Any
I'll
open
note
roll.
this is not an open roll. You have a target number you're trying to hit. Open rolls
Oh,
for
okay.
knowledge study rolls.
Fair enough. In that case, then this is a 12. My apologies.
Good thing is the target number's 10. So you burn through 60 mind points.
Yep.
As you concentrate and concentrate and concentrate and concentrate. And then for a second, as you're holding the staff down and concentrating on the floor and channeling, trying to connect your chimerism and animalistic instincts into it, trying to translate it into the ritual of this unfamiliar magic. You feel it's almost like you're grabbing really hard onto a long cylinder of ice, and
Okay.
it's for a half second. It's almost like you let it slip out of your hands, and you just grip on it harder. It kind of hurts, and for a second you almost let go because there's that instinctual chemist fear of if it hurts, let go. It's that sort of oven hot, stop touching oven. Like very basic animal brain, right? But you realize you need to ignore that because that's not how this magic works.
Right.
It works on a different principle. Whatever that is, you don't need to understand it. You just need to believe that you are doing the correct thing. And your truth-seeking nature lets you push through that instinct.
Okay.
And
Just gotta believe.
you're able to reveal the floor beyond the stairwell that goes down, instead of just wiping up the whole floor. Because I imagine you don't want to do that.
Control the opening.
Yeah.
Open it properly. Yep. Okay. Well, I grasp it. I control it. I open the stair, the passageway downwards without blowing the whole floor away. And then I'll finish the ritual, and I'll catch my breath because it looks like it was exhausting. And then I'll say, "See, I'm really a mage. Maybe not the greatest mage that ever walked, but I'm getting there." We can explore down now.
Do you exit the tower?
Exit the tower?
As you're going down and down and down and down.
Oh,
It looks like it's a
into
long way
whole
down
nother
wherever you're going.
passage down. Oh, I see. I didn't catch that part. Okay.
And we didn't determine that there was like anything else here. It's just there isn't like wasn't there like
Well,
a staircase that went up?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a staircase. That went
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I didn't realize we'd be leaving the area either. Can we come back to this later now that I have control over it?
Probably.
Okay. Well, I'll use my connection to this magic now that I understand it to reclose the door. Or I can just leave it open and we can just go up and explore up now. What do y'all think? Should I just leave it open?
Might as well.
Just leave it open.
All right, I'll just leave it open and say we can come back to this now. Let's explore wherever we will next.
So does the party ascend?
Yeah, sure. Up the stairs.
Up the stairs you go.
I'm gonna need to I'm gonna drink an elixir and recover mind points as we go. That'll wipe out my inventory. My stuff.
A long climb later, you find yourself amid the tower, and you see that there is a landing where it feels like the inside of the tower is much taller than it looks on the outside. Like, it only look on the outside, it looks like an observation tower, maybe, I don't know, 40, 50 feet up. But the walk up this tower, it feels like from the inside, it took a lot longer than that to get here, and you're not at the top. But you do find a landing where there's a stairway going down, and then the stairway continues, it flattens out for a second, plateaus, and then it goes up further. But on that plateau, you see there's a door that leads into a sort of central chamber that's sort of freestanding or free-floating within the cavity of the tower. And you find yourself facing either a stairway up or toward another icy metallic door. Or, oh, sorry, take that back. An icy stone door. No traps or nothing, though. Nothing's attacked you the whole time you're in here, though.
Not yet.
Yet.
I feel that we may as well finish exploring this tower while we're here, but I'm already getting the sensation that if we're going to find anything valuable, it'll be downstairs anyway. Like, up here, there won't be anything to find, I don't think. But I mean, I could be wrong. After all, it looks like nobody's been in here in thousands of years. How's thick the dust on the floor in here?
What dust?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Something keeps it pristine. Some magic keeps it clean.
Ooh, spooky dusting magic.
It could be a simple hairstyle.
7.
Keeps the air pure. I don't know.
Some of
Forbidden
7's
spells.
some of 7's out-of-pocket comments are the funniest goddamn thing.
We'll find the haunted feather duster.
You know, not gonna lie, if we found a haunted feather duster, I'd make it part of my uniform. I pose in my maid costume that I'm wearing.
Mm-hmm. Which for some reason isn't all that cold up here. JRPG logic. What do you mean sensible clothes? Anyway. Yeah, you see a doorway and a stairway.
I suggest we explore what's in the doorway
Sure, we're here.
before we continue up.
But you've got the scanner, don't you? I'll help. Or did you take it apart and put it in a drawer?
Pardon?
Who has a scanner?
7.
7 does.
Yeah, I'll do it. Come here. Give it a 1, 2.
It's vertical, so it shouldn't give you any trouble.
Turn right after I recalibrate the gyro.
Get it recalibrated again for vertical.
Insight's part of it. Zevin Demeril. Thankfully, you determined that this is made, well, worryingly, this door seems to be made very similar, actually magically almost a smaller facsimile of the door you came in. But thankfully, this one seems to have an actual lock, like with tumblers and pins and things, something you can actually pick.
Woohoo. And that means I can pick it. Alright.
Yeah, you may as well call that door a nose.
Is that a dex check that picks the lock?
It is. I will warn. There does seem to be some sort of magical runery about the key lock. So because you've seen it, you won't be penalized trying to pick it. Now, either that magic is just to make the lock harder to pick, or it's a sign of a trap. You've heard of that happening in the Sultanate, in ancient ruins. Sometimes it's an arcane lock of some kind. Other times it's a glyph of explosion. That sort of thing. Hard to tell until you're already picking at it.
I feel like arcane locks aren't unheard of in the modern day Sultanate, but not the exploding kind.
I suspect it just says I prepared explosive runes the day I made this.
And it's just a false claim. They're just saying that to spook people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the guard dog on premises.
Chihuahua.
Is there really?
I'll sandwich my ankle, I'll give you that, but you can attempt to pick this lock. I'm just warning you there's a possible risk of being hurt. It is a dex check of some kind.
No, seriously, you could be seriously killed.
Alright, let's give it the good old picky lock. And she reaches into her bag and pulls out a bunch of random tools. Not pardon?
I will charge you an inventory point for some lockpicks.
Of course. Will it give me a bonus or just not give me a penalty?
You could do without spending the inventory point by improvising. It would be a -2.
Yeah, I'll just spend the inventory point. It's worth it. Ooh.
Just gonna start looking up the damage
Oop.
while you consider your options.
Wait, why does it have to have damage?
It doesn't have to. I mean, this roll might not stand. I don't know. I'm just looking up the damage. I could be just doing that to mess with you and nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, 7 is a basic success, right? 7, 10, 13. So it might be your fun. I don't know. Seems unlikely, though. Ancient Wizard's Tower's probably got better than basic defense.
Does the roll stand, Zevin Demeril?
No, actually, I'm gonna spend one of my Fabula on it. I've got so many.
To what trait?
I am a mechanic. I work with mechanical things. This
That's
is one of
fair.
those things. And I choose which dice I reroll?
Yep.
Or
Could be both. Could be only one of them.
I'll reroll both. They're both low. 12.
Can she get help, or is that not possible on this roll?
Not in this case, no.
Okay.
Too delicate a task. But 12, you're kind of picking at it, and then you feel something give, and you almost just happily turn, and then you realize, no, magical locks have false gates like that trigger the trap. So, no, that's probably the wrong one, so you take a little extra time to make sure that you're picking the lock properly, and you find the proper tumble that you need to turn, and then you're able to pull the lock open. You almost took a face full of ice damage. But hey, you're fine.
Immediately there's a blam noise from behind the keyhole.
It's more like wham, but I see what you mean.
George Michael lives.
Yeah, so you open up the door, and within, you see what appears to be a study with a variety of books and scrolls. Sorry, I correct myself. Books is a strong word. A lot of scrolls, and clay tablets, and stone tablets, and what appears to be a sort of what's the phrase? An armorer's dummy, if you know what I mean, with various equipment on them.
Nice. We found loot. I proclaim happily.
I was muted. Lucius would like to take a look over the tablets.
I'd like to go inspect the dummy with the equipment on it.
The tablets require an insight roll. Inspecting the dummy, it has a helm, a set of armor, a shield, a melee weapon, a ranged weapon.
Baby. Check out that armor and that shield. That's my first goal.
That will take less time than the studying of things, so bear with me. But a moment.
That is silly.
Hopefully
You
there's
are
gold
looking
in here,
upon
too.
runic plate.
Oh.
Ooh.
What is
Defen-
runic plate?
Defensive 11, magic defensive, insight +1, and initiative -3. It is a martial armor.
I have martial armor training. That happened so fast I couldn't compare it to what I'm currently wearing. Could you say that once more?
The defense is 11.
Oh, so it's martial. It just has a value, right?
Magic defense of insight +1,
Mm-hmm.
and initiative -3.
Yeah, I'm not going to wear that. Might be worth
well,
selling, though. What about
yeah,
the shield?
The shield is +2 defense and +2 magic defense, for it is a runic shield.
That's good.
Let me see what I got. You should take it because I have a runic shield. Plus, it gives me an immunity to a status condition. So,
Right. Well, the shield I'm currently using gives me immune to enraged and +3 physical defense, so it's already really good. I don't know if in the future I might be able to learn that skill that gives you the ability to equip 2 shields at once, though. Is that a thing?
yeah, it's a guardian ability.
I am a guardian, so I might actually, maybe I'm confused. Am I guardian? I got weapon master and guardian. Yep, I could get that then. If you guys don't mind, I'd like to claim the shield for the future, because I'd be able to wield 2 shields at once and get benefit from that.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
Shoot.
So,
Note it as ancient ice shield.
okay.
Sorry. That's going to confuse me. I will not remember. Ancient ice runic shield.
And it's +2/+2, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
Studying.
And what else did you say it had besides the +2/+2, or is that it?
That's it so far, unless you equip it.
Okay. So I'll have to equip it to find out more.
Yep.
I'm willing to try it out.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll put it on for a moment and see.
Well, we'll get to that in a moment.
All right,
Because
no
it does
problem.
take you time to study the armor and study
Yeah.
the shield.
No worries.
Lucius, you study the tablets and find that they are written in old Choreo, the sorcerer texts. And thankfully you're well read on such things. It's not a way of writing anymore. There are better ways to write now, more efficient ways. These are a bit more...
Yeah, but every school kid has to learn their Shakespeare.
Yeah, well, anyone who's patrician sort of thing. It's like if you're like a common laborer, you don't learn this language. Why would you ever need to do it? Unless your job's like librarian. Like otherwise you wouldn't need to. But a patrician, no, you have to know this because you need to read the old texts sometimes. And this seems to suggest that this tower is part of a larger project, a grand arcanum, a grand ritual, to link the arcanum of fire, darkness. Sorry, I got that's right. Darkness, fire, water, earth.
Oh, that's a reveal.
The project was going well. It had... This was sort of a... this tower was meant as a starting point. Not a prototype, but the first practical build. To see... working build. To see if this actually would do what it said it would do. That would actually link and create this sort of channel of magic between the Arcanum of Fire and the Arcanum of Darkness. And it seemed to be stable. It required an immense amount of ice magic to maintain, immense amount of earth magic to maintain, which the Sorcerer Kings struggled to do. They had to take from the elven peoples of the north to get them to help them commit to this magic. But even still, it was rather expensive, but in time they would find ways to improve on the material. And they'd heard that another tower was already being built. The biggest expense, according to them, is that they want it to be like, and you have to convert the distances. They only have it going like every single hex they'd have to
make a new one,
which that's intensely expensive. You're looking at tens of thousands of zenith just to make one line, and this thing has to traverse the countless realms. It'd be better for it to go duh, like any sort of gap would be great. That was the next step. That was the next plan. And the next time they spoke with the Sorcerer King, they would figure that out the next meeting, and then when you check the dates, that's when the revolution happened.
He fell, and the Sorcerer King fell.
Yep.
And that's so cool. Oh, that's awesome.
What?
This is me as the player.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just being.
Lucius
That's
is
awesome.
making noises of scholarly satisfaction again. Beware.
Yes, and but Lucius is just going, oh, that's fascinating.
What?
So,
Is he staring at it, or are you gonna?
So these two towers were meant to be part of a larger network, as we suspected, creating an artificial ley line, as it were, meant to connect multiple arcanum, not just the arcanum of fire, but the arcanum of darkness, water, and earth.
And fire.
Well, yes. It was
Well,
meant to connect.
What were they trying to do?
I don't know quite yet. Presumably channel a lot of elemental energy to one place, probably. I can't quite determine that yet. I'm not an expert in elemental magics, though my expertise is vast. But it would appear, and he points to a date on one of them, that only these two towers were able to be constructed before the Sorcerer King was overthrown.
Eh.
Leaving the network as a whole unfinished.
Interesting. So I'll put on the shield and see what it does.
You have vulnerability to fire. You have resistance to ice.
Ooh, I'm not keeping that
Oh.
on. I'll switch back to my regular one. Definitely don't want
Oh.
vulnerability to fire.
Later, maybe. Not right now.
Right. But yeah, let me mark down those changes. It gives vulnerable to fire and what?
Resistance to ice.
Oh, here's a question. I've got a good question for you.
Mhm.
Because this was to investigate an item, investigating these tablets that should technically proc my flash of insight.
It would, yep.
Can I get any determination, especially since it notes that this was meant to connect to both the darkness and the water arcanums?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any indication in these documentations about where these other arcanum are located?
It suggests there's a way to word this that's accurate, but not giving it away, because it wouldn't be that plain spoken.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to answer your question truthfully, so bear with me for a second.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm using this as I'm using this 19 and my free question to ask a big question that that's gonna put at least one big thing on the map.
The Arcanum of Darkness is a place where vengeance is normal. The fire where grace is abundant. Water where natural magic and the natural spirits bloom. And earth where the very stones can evoke miracles.
Okay.
Might I posit that the Arcanum of Darkness is most likely somewhere within the Darklands?
Yeah, that seems like a pretty safe bet, and based on what I've heard,
Aether, I'll actually throw out to you, because your character would know this. The Darklands are newer than ancient times.
Okay. What were they during the ancient times? Like, what did the ancient elder treants of the Darklands teach me about the times before they were called the Darklands?
They were the Darklands were once part of the what would be now called the spiritual Duchy of Wakamal.
Got it. So they
Except
were
it was
once
more water based rather than wind based and earth based because it was closer to the water.
Okay.
Darkness infested the Darklands through the sorceress. She corrupted the land.
All right. I'll pass that along to everyone then.
Well, we're definitely going to want to keep the Arcanum of Darkness out of the sorceress's hands. The last thing we need is a dark sorceress with more darkness.
Yay!
Absolutely agreed.
But as for the Water Arcanum, he pauses for a moment. Lady Duncan, isn't your home nation, that island, isn't that a place of natural spirits or some such?
Yes. As most places are. But I suppose the waters around my homeland are probably as good a place to look as any for a water arcana.
Then Earth, well, looking at our maps, that could be anywhere to the east here, and he just motions across like the entire sultanate, the entire like deserts to the east, and the entire area of the Golden Continent. Well, that's a puzzle for another day. This, and he he nabs a tablet. He nabs whatever tablet like contained that information.
It'd be like a stack of tablets.
Yeah, he nabs whatever stack of tablets like contains that information, so that he can come back to it later, or at the very least he copies down the important notation.
That would be much lighter weight.
Yes. Let's be real. Have your servants carry it. There's a weapon here you might want.
Oh?
What is the weapon? I never looked at it.
You examine the weapon on its rest.
May as well. But I figured since our erstwhile leader is down to a regular spear, he might be most interested in it.
And he points at Vibius and Umbrinius. She said I was the leader. She can't take it back now.
I mean,
I said erstwhile.
what does that mean?
I just make that face like, really?
Umbrinius shrugs like he's just a soldier. He looks genuinely confused.
Doesn't matter, I'm taking it.
Vibius seems to know and doesn't decide to help out for once. He's finding this far too amusing.
Shake my head.
If I could find what I'm looking for, that'd be great. Haha. It would seem to be a heavy spear.
What do you know?
Ooh, a heavy spear.
Do you have martial weapon training?
I do, but heavy spears are two-handed, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Does that matter to you? You don't carry a shield.
It does. It does
Why?
matter to me. My heroic skill requires that I use a one-handed weapon. A lot of my stuff is based around me being a one-handed spear and shield guy.
Okay, I did not know. I mean, I understand. I'm carrying a shield, so I get it. You can at least pick it up, and figure it out what it does.
Yeah, sure. He will pick it up because it is a.
Okay. You pick up the spear, and find that although it has the length and heft of a heavy spear, it is light enough in the hand to be wielded one-handed.
Oh, dope. Okay.
It is an ancient ice heavy spear.
Aren't you glad I said something?
It does ice damage instead of physical.
Oh, cool. Neat.
And hey, it's better than your normal spear, probably.
Possibly. We'll see. It is spear, martial. What's the typical damage on a heavy spear?
Plus 12. HR plus 12.
Cool. So in that case, because when I have a weapon in my main hand slot, I deal 5 extra damage. So that means that bare minimum 17 damage.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah.
A lot better
When-
than I've
when-
got.
Yeah. Well, it's good for me because a lot of the stuff I do dunks my high roll to 0.
Right.
So it's good that I have a lot of stuff that buffs my additional damage. Okay, cool. Just does ice damage.
Yep.
That's the only special thing about it, and the fact that I can use it one-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, we'll take it. And I still have the old hoplite spear in case I need to just do some old school physical damage.
And we
Yeah.
just take that other suit of armor to sell it later, put it in party treasure.
Yeah, that.
I don't think 7 or more want to wear martial armor.
Can't.
I can't.
That's what I thought. Yeah. And I don't want to wear it because it would make me easier to hit.
Yes. Vivius and Bernius, if you would hold on to this armor for the time being.
They kind of like full with a soldier's familiarity, they're able to pack it in a way that makes it easy for them to carry. Because there's a way to pack armor in a way that makes it easier. It's still bulky. They're not, and Brinius is the one who's carrying most of it, but between the two of them, they figure it out.
Yeah.
I guess before we leave this room, we should check underneath, underneath the stacks and underneath the weapon rack and see if there's a hidden compartment somewhere with, loot or money or Zenit hiding in here. I will definitely look around for that.
Aether looks around the room. What is Zevin and Moore doing during this?
Is there anything else in the room, or is it just like a small storage?
It's a study. Various clay tablets and scrolls, a desk, chair, the armor dummy, which right now only has a helmet because the weapon's been a helmet and a ranged weapon because the shield, armor, and a melee weapon have been taken.
We should probably look those over too.
Geez,
I'll
Seven.
read through
You're
the
welcome,
scrolls.
Seven.
What was that, Moore?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I said I'll read through some of the scrolls because I'm curious what they say.
Insight's part of it.
Okay.
It's all written in old Choreo.
Yeah, it's written in an old language you're not familiar with. You do understand they're magical in nature, just because you see some common ancient magical symbols, but without knowing the ancient language, it's magical text of some kind.
Oh, these scrolls look magical.
Do you still
Oh?
have that bag of holding?
Everyone has those, technically.
Could we just bring all the scrolls with us?
Yes, we could attempt to decipher them later. They're likely written in the archaic text of Choreo. While I am no expert at the magical arts, perhaps I could help you translate them later, Lady Duncan. You can fill in the magical context.
Sounds good.
I suppose write down ancient magic scrolls of ice. Because you see ice repeatedly said in the various scrolls, so they have either something about controlling ice or manipulating ice or abjuring ice. It's hard without the in-between words. It's like me when I know just barely enough Latin to go, aha, I know that one word. Can you read the rest of it? No, I know that one word.
It's like in an anime song where they sing like the 3 words in English.
Mm.
I know that word.
Then Seven was doing something, but I didn't catch what it was.
She's just looking around.
Well, there's still that helmet. We haven't checked that out.
Ooh.
We'll look at it, but she's probably just gonna see if it's worth taking back to sell.
Right, see if it's worth party treasure or whatever. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Want to roll for that? Or are you good?
I'll roll for it. Whew.
Oh, was it something that could be cursed?
Certain things they weren't very good at making. I'm just throwing that out there.
Jeez.
This would
Well, I mean-
appear to be a accessory of a ancient ice helm. You could try to figure out what it is, given your background, Zevin, with an insight roll of some kind. As you kind of, without having to put it on fiddle with it, you could like examine it and try to puzzle out what it's supposed to do. Because you've learned from them messing with the other ones rather recklessly. Well, it's magical. You know that much. For sure.
Yeah, it sure is a helmet, all right. It wouldn't fit her ears, would it?
I kind of would, actually. Seems to be for a longer-eared people.
Oh, that's right, because they yoinked a bunch of stuff from the elves.
Yep. The people
She'll
walk
lift it up and kind of like slowly put it on so that she can,
If it
yank
starts
it
doing,
off.
if it starts buzzing or starts melting hair, it's like, no.
To crush her head in there.
What's that whirring noise? No. Starts playing music from FNAF. Like, ooh. That won't be a dated reference or anything. It's an outdated reference even now, as of current broadcast. Anyway, that's not true. There's new games being made of that right now.
Yep.
For some reason.
Keep keeping the lights on for game theory.
as you put on the helm, you find that you have an easy enough time moving about the room, and you don't find yourself like it feels very well fitted, and it's almost like it's shaped to your head a little bit, which is a little worrying. But it's not like that crushing feeling. It's more of a, it's oddly comfy. By which, this makes you immune to the slow status effect.
Neat.
Could be handy.
It also makes you resistant to ice and vulnerable to fire.
Ooh, not an artifact for now.
Yeah, she'll pick it up and dunk it into her bag. If it gets heavy, she can drop it.
It's worth quite a bit of money. It's worth at least 2,000 Zenit.
Yeah, let's party treasure that instead. If
All
we
right.
don't, if we don't keep it for later, we can sell it for the party. Like if I wasn't wearing a better artifact, I'd actually want it.
Aether, I will point out to you after your intense search, there is in fact an exit out of this room.
Oh.
It's the way you came in.
So I find nothing.
Yeah, this place doesn't seem to be. It actually very clearly to you after examining it for this long. There's no hidden compartments. It seems to assume that if you can get to this room, there's no reason to hide. Because how would you get in here unless you're a powerful mage who's supposed to be here?
Like even the desk might have had like a hidden drawer or something, but I guess not.
Yeah, why would they worry?
Finish,
It's like, it's my desk. I just want to be able to find things. There's like quills and like, not quills, but like writing implements and blank tablets, things like that. But nothing that's particularly useful to you.
Okay. Well, I will excitedly point at the door and say, "Look, it's a way out." I think we found everything there is to find in here.
Quite.
I'll look at Vivius and say, unless you want to lick the doorknob on the way out.
Don't tempt him.
What? Why does everyone think I lick doorknobs? Look, he did it at that one inn. It looked chocolate. That looked like a chocolate doorknob, alright?
That was dark mud.
Why would they build doors out of mud? It's the Darklands. What do you think they build it out of? I don't know. Metal? Stone? Chocolate? You thought chocolate. You really thought chocolate. It could have been.
The entire conversation is just us going down the stairs.
No, up. We're going up.
We're continuing
upstairs.
up. There's still more up.
There's still more up.
This was a landing. This is the landing at the halfway point.
Oh, cool.
Did you get so excited by your scholarly learnings that you forgot where we were and what we were doing?
No, we just got so much cool stuff that it gave me the impression of this is the cool stuff that you find at the top of the tower.
It's the curse of the haunted treasure. Ooh.
Couldn't be. We didn't find a feather duster.
Will you stop that, Seven?
I kind of like it. Keep it up. I'll take the lead. Head up.
Say it ain't so. You guys head up?
Yep. We're moving on up.
Oh my god.
Another discovery? Wow. I'm glad we went up.
Wild.
You get to the top of the tower. And spy there what appears to be a crystal ball in the center of the tower.
Ooh. Orb to ponder.
Have we seen an orb like that before?
Not since your
Walking
very
World.
first tower.
Yeah.
I will also note it is not windy or cold up here. It's actually rather temperate. It is rather. You should be feeling wind in. Avantis, you would have spent a couple of teenagerhoods doing military work and being in a watchtower. Perhaps briefly. It gets cold the higher up you get. Like, wind tends to catch. Up here, you don't feel the wind. You don't feel the chill.
Climate controlled watchtower.
Wow.
You can see very clearly everything within your hex, and rather clearly everything in the surrounding terrain hexes.
Oh, so do we need to roll for those now?
You don't have to unless you look.
Yeah.
We may as well look and get them down. I'll take the map
Yeah.
out so we can re-roll if we have to. May as well get the lay of the land while we're here. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
Where are you looking first?
Where the other tower is. Get a look at the land surrounding it. Is that fine?
No, it's not.
Mhm.
Try again. No.
I was asking the party, man.
Yeah, but I'm a
See
smart
what we
aleck.
get. Let's. Okay.
Hills.
Okay. Yeah, that seems.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it seems fine. That seems relevant for
I'm not fishing to find a major metropolis there.
God.
What about the one to the
Imagine-
southwest of it?
Imagine if we
Wasn't
found
that the hilarious, right?
Yeah.
Do that again.
Plains.
Oh,
Interesting.
yes, that sounds cool. On the other side of Mount Novio is the plains. Okay.
And we've never gotten this far.
Corio hasn't gotten this
Yeah,
far.
Corio has
The
not
ancient
gotten this
people
far.
obviously did. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Oh, but it's probably like, given the climes we're in, it's probably like frozen plains.
Yeah.
Just
Probably.
like white.
Or it could be just this huge valley between mountain ranges.
Oh man. Oh, that's cool. Oh. It's beautiful.
Certainly is a severe clear sky.
Mm.
So, you guys gave that orb a look like you were afraid of it when we got here. What's the story behind that?
We encountered an orb such as this during our first sally forth as a group.
I see.
This
I
was
take
back
it
when
it did not
Ekron
go
was still
well.
with us. It was.
For values of not well equal to we got tossed off the top.
Oh,
Fraught.
exciting.
Very fraught.
I appreciate blunt honesty. The difference is now you have me and I have this, and I'll take out the staff and see if it resonates with the orb in any way.
The orb remains in place.
Okay. I would like to inspect the orb. I will ponder the orb like a wizard of old. This is my first orb. I'm excited.
stare into the orb, and the orb stares back upon you. You see
Nietzsche would be proud.
the reach of ice, everything that chills, for all that is warm eventually grows cold and still. Cold and still. Your own beating heart as you take 20 ice damage.
I didn't even get a roll. I just took damage for pondering it.
Choose a terrain tile.
Okay. A terrain tile. Why don't we go with that?
Or choose a hex, better way to put it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's go with that empty plane that Lucius was so excited to find to the west.
You spy through the orb, across the intense cold, what appears to be an encampment of many soldiers.
Okay.
Clad in their dark armor. Dark as the night sky. With tabards emblazoned with a golden emblem. Backed by a circle of an ever-burning dark sun.
I'll describe this out loud to the others as I'm looking.
That's
Is
the
that
emblem you've
something
seen
you're gonna
Alexander walking around with.
Oh.
Okay.
Those are Dark Knights. A whole contingent of them.
And finally, question. I have resistance versus ice. Would that lower the damage?
It would happen, yep.
Thank you. Just checking. I mean, I wasn't worried. I was just curious.
Yep.
Okay. Then I will describe that to him and see if there's any other details that the orb will show me or if it's going to continue to harm me if I try to hold on. Like, get a sense for that. If I think it's going to continue to harm me, I'll stop.
Are you trying to focus on a new area, or are you just examining what you're already seeing?
I'm examining what I'm already seeing.
Insight's
and
part of
looking
it.
closer. Okay.
Because there's no role with seeing tabards and tents. That's just like, no, that's, you can see that clear as day, as if you were standing, as if you were hovering in the air above the place.
Is this an open roll?
This would be an open roll, yep.
Okay. Critical success.
Well,
Cow.
so you get an opportunity. And,
Nice.
so, I guess so what you're seeing, it appears to be a full, I would say about 1,000 strong Dark Knights.
Ooh.
Mix it with and for every 100, there's at least one spiritualist with them.
Okay.
It looks like they have come well supplied. They have a supply train. They have experience with traveling across Arctic conditions, it seems. Various magic is helping them with this. And it looks like they are getting ready to head this way. Because they could try to go straight for Mount Novio, but that's like trying to climb straight up a sheer cliff. Like it goes from near sea level to, oh god, one of the tallest mountains in the world. So it's like, no. You go this way, then this way, then this way.
Up the hills, up the mountains, and finally you're there, right?
Yeah. So it looks like they're getting ready to head up this way at some point.
This looks like an invading army to me.
You could say that, yeah. That'd be
They're
a
not
fair
Choreo
assumption.
Yeah. They're not Choreo troops. I'm going to pass this along and ask while I'm still looking through the orb so I can't like see your response. Just hopefully I can hear you. But I will ask, do you know anything about this, Lucius, my friend?
Afraid not. If Eckhart were still here, he might be able to tell us, but...
Right. Okay, well, now we know. Something serious is going on, and I
And-
think we probably ought to hurry to Mount Novio before they get there.
Yes. And now we know. And
Yep.
knowing is half the battle.
Yo, Joe, I will break off my connection with the orb.
Before you do that, what opportunity are you invoking?
I would like to.
Ooh, a faux pas from them could be interesting.
Mm.
I was thinking unmask too. I could just like, for example, learn the goals and motivations of the leader of these troops. Maybe.
Yeah, that could work too.
Yeah, I would like to use the unmask opportunity, focused on the person in charge, or the general goals of this entire troop of dark soldiers marching on Mount Novio.
You are able to, thankfully, you're able to kind of spot the knight commander of this unit. They are especially decorated, so you're able to kind of guess that they're the commander of the knights. So knight commander.
The extra
Maybe that's not
large
what they're called, but
halberds,
who
yeah.
knows? And it seems, after observing for a while, you develop a sense. You're not sure how, but you develop a sense that they are on a quest to ascend Mount Novio to prevent the cataclysmic convergence.
Okay, so they're on a good quest, as far as I can tell. Preventing the cataclysmic convergence is what we're all trying to do.
Though it seems that their solution to the problem is slaying the creature of Mount Novio, because if it's destroyed, it can't threaten anybody.
That's probably not the ideal goal, though. Right? Okay.
Because they're Dark Knights. Most ways to solve your problem is destroy the thing that's a problem.
Right. Just kill it and let the gods sort it out. Okay. Well, I will pass that along to everybody and disconnect from the orb.
You stop looking at the orb and the
And
image
say,
fades.
I think I
Zoom
mastered
disconnect
using this orb
sound.
for the moment. I believe that the commander and his troops are coming to slay the guardian of Mount Novio. They're ostensibly doing it for what they believe is a good purpose, like they want to prevent the cataclysmic convergence from occurring. But I think their method of accomplishing that may not be the most ideal solution.
Indeed.
But on the plus side, we're way ahead of them. It's going to take them a significant amount of time with that number of troops to get there. We'll have days ahead of them at least.
And he looks down the field, and then up to the hill to the other point, and then up to where we are. He says, "Yes, if they were to move troops in such large numbers, the quickest way would be to send to that tower there and then cut south,
Yep. Clearly. Well,
rather than blend
yeah.
them."
I take it we're going to want to beat them there then?
So if you wanna leave, the tower's connected. You can.
Well, if I'm correct, I think we may have if we have access to information that they do not, and they are not aware of this tower's purpose, it wouldn't surprise me if this tower had a way of connecting to Mount Novio. Because if they were attempting to make this connection of ley lines,
Right.
they likely would have
Dug a
already.
tunnel.
Yes, they likely would have made a way for them to get to Novio rather quick, and it's quite likely that there are archaic Coriostellum structures at Mount Novio as well.
Not to mention, I've already opened the passage underground. It probably leads where we need to go. So
Quite.
I think you may be right. We'll only know if we go look for ourselves, though.
Indeed. That just leaves the question: do we want to rest here for the night? Who knows what's down there?
Probably a good point. Good idea. There's room here to pitch the tent in there.
Well, also this is a pretty chill place.
Literally climate controlled. It's better than chilled. It's
Mm.
warm. The orb is not going to be a danger to us if we rest up here, right?
Who knows? You never rested with an orb before.
How big is the orb anyway?
Big as your head.
Okay, so is it like melted to stone or floating in midair, or could we take it?
It seems to be floating in midair.
Well, I'm not going to grab it now, but I'm going to ask everybody, is it a bad idea to take this thing with us?
Well, at the very least, I believe that I keep forgetting what's the name of like the kind of forces that this army is down here. What
The
are
Dark
they?
Knights.
The Dark Knights. If our experiences with the Lady Dom Jessica are anything to go by, it wouldn't surprise me if they knew how to deal with such an orb.
Right. Well, let's leave it for now and think about it while we're here. But it might be something we want to bring with us. I don't know. Thought I'd bring that up in case. I don't know if we want to leave it or not. It could be, too, that taking the orb could be the linchpin that causes all the magics holding this tower functions together. So it may be a
Right.
very bad idea.
Indeed.
So for now, we should leave it be.
Let old magics lie.
Yes, because that's a thing we do all the time, says Mimius.
Seven just shrugs and adjusts her backpack straps.
Weighed down by the various stuff you've looted from various places.
So we're going to rest then? Do we need rest?
Yeah, I think it might be. Well, we have to rest. We have to pass the day anyway, because we did a whole travel roll.
There's
think.
resting, quote unquote, and that just normal resting, which is something that's assumed when you travel day by day. Then there's a full rest, which requires an inn or a magic tent.
We have a
you
reusable magic tent.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you burned a bunch of You burned
Yeah, I
a
burned
bunch
all
of
my-
mind points, didn't
That's
you?
true. But then I also drank a potion to get a bunch of it back. But I
Ah.
could rest and be full. It's true.
I'll leave it
I
to
mean,
you
I'm
guys.
not going to get my inventory points back no matter what. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at
But
full.
I wasn't sure if we were going to have a battle or not, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, do you guys want to rest? Like actual rest? Or just say that we took like a break here and then continued on?
I'm only down 20 HP, so, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue on if we
Yeah, I'm okay with continuing on.
if we want to take a nominal rest and
Yeah.
then
We enjoy the climate controlled air up here for a few hours and recover and get our rest, sleep, snooze, whatever. And then we continue on our adventure. Yeah.
we appreciate the pretty background sprite work of this save point.
The great view. Yes. The wonderful view of the surrounding environs all around us. You may have sprite work. I have like 3D sky.
It's just a
From a video game,
skybox.
3D video game. Are we playing games in different generations of console here? What?
I play in ASCII. I don't know about you.
Oh,
Friggin-
you're just reading text? Okay.
No, it's ASCII art. Jeez.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Don't worry, I'll have goblins eat half your food because that was totally fair. Richard Guy, not mad.
You just been eaten by a grue.
I wish it was a crew.
Remember that?
At least your character's
Okay.
just dead. Anyway,
You know, from an old family friend, I recently received a box full of Zork printouts.
Zork's a classic, man.
that's a word you could use to describe Zork.
Well, It may not be the greatest game that anyone ever played, but it's definitely a classic.
People say that about Dark Souls. I have other words I call Dark Souls, but anyway. So, does the party continue its journey down the tower?
Downstairs.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just to confirm, we've decided to leave the orb in case if it holds everything together.
No one grabbed at it.
That's fine.
You're able to get to the ground floor rather easily, as you all have had time to kind of check the stairway on the way down and look for. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot to this tower. It's not heavily guarded or nothing. It seems to be largely. The only reason it probably hasn't been raided is just how remote it is, and only someone like Zevin would bother to look for an ancient tower in the middle of the mountains. Like, to any other Koryo citizen, it'd be like, why would there be some ancient tower up here? Zevin, there's ancient stuff everywhere.
Money.
There's money in them hills. Sometimes
Well,
on the hills. Sometimes over it. You know.
Yeah, that reminds me. I had left the door basically more or less unlocked and open because we're thinking we might need to rush out of here. Since we're planning on going downstairs and looking for a way out that isn't the door, should I just go ahead and close it and reset it now?
Do you mean the stairway?
No, the stairway, I mean the actual door that we entered in.
That slammed shut.
The ice
That slammed shut behind us.
Oh, it did? Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's fine then. Okay, well, yeah, we'll just leave it that way then. Hopefully they won't have access to an easy means of entrance after us if they find the tower. Waste their time trying to get in.
So you're on the ground floor. There's the big doors you guys came in, and there's the stairway down.
Shall I lead?
Go ahead.
Would you follow me with your lantern, Archon, so I have
Yeah,
light?
sure. Of course.
Thank you. Then the two of us head in. Creeping down the stairs, leaving a long and long-eared shadow ahead of me.
Oops, wrong music. There we go. We're okay. Let's put on the scary music. Not scary yet, it's just creepy. There's a difference. One has a higher roll than the other. You descend down the stairs, and down the stairs, and down the stairs. You no longer see the fine craftsmanship of hewn stone, but of roughly carved stone. Still magically done given the scale of the stairway, but it seems to be done more out of haste and I just want to get where I'm going sort of magic, not I want to look at this on a daily basis magic.
Sure.
And down you descend. And down. And a travel roll occurs.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, that's just the way this is going today, I guess.
We just
Someone
keep
snuck into the
finding
options
stuff.
menu and flicked easy. No, I'm just kidding.
Ah.
Someone
Or
looked
Luke.
up the strategy guide. Well, this is the optimal way to do the speed run of this particular.
Yeah, no, we weren't
game.
trying to speed run it.
That's so funny.
We guessed. We weren't looking up no
I had-
strategy guide.
I had tabbed away for half a second, and all I could hear was people laughing. So I was like, "Oh no, is it really good or really bad?"
No kidding.
I mean, that's fair.
That is fair.
You descend, and spy below you quite clearly before you get all the way down there. What appears to be a massive chamber where you see an almost endless corridor of tombs and dusty altars with staves and prayer beads and old scrolls. And all that is rather impressive, just the sheer scale of it, the amount of people that must have been entombed here. And I will point out, because of your discovery, this stairway leads straight into this chamber, but this chamber did not have that stairway in mind. Whoever dug this down didn't intend to run into this chamber. They just happened to run into this chamber. And then they figured, well, I'm already here, so I'll just keep doing stairs. They can't do the northwest, south, like they couldn't do the round stairs, like following the walls, because it opens up to this massive chamber. So they just followed the north wall and just made this long, zigzaggy, very crude stairway. You wouldn't want to run this stairway by any means, but you can get down eventually. But from your vantage point, because you're coming down rather to this place, and you have a light, you can see this massive chamber. And down below, you can see what appears to be something glowing like fiery embers on its own little pedestal. A laurel of fire.
Oh.
Oh, baby.
Interesting.
It's the mother lode. We thought we had it good upstairs.
Yep. Lucius, examine it. Does this look like an artifact of Coriostellum?
Are you trying to figure it out from where you are, or do you try to walk all the way down to get close to it?
Let's go all the way
Oh,
down and
okay.
get close.
Yeah, I'll start approaching.
We'll take the time to get down there safely first.
You descend and descend, following the stairs. And as you get closer and closer, you notice the floor is decorated in a variety of magical sigils. And they seem to glow the closer you get to them. Do you step onto the floor?
Do the sigils match the classic elements, or are they something different?
They seem to repeat 6 different ancient choreo words.
Well, I'm going to let our choreo expert figure this one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll be there to
What did
assist.
they say?
I'll
What's it
definitely
say?
assist as best as I am able.
They say your mama repeatedly.
I knew that was coming. I knew it.
Yeah, an
Wisdom.
ancient sorcerer king had a great sense of humor.
Sacrifice, discovery, unity, protection, renewal.
Wait a minute. This sounds really familiar.
Look up the
where
whole.
where did I hear these? I feel like we've heard those words in that exact order somewhere before.
Yeah, is it related to the national statements of your kingdom or whatever, or your family?
Hang on.
The virtues of Coriostellum's greatest noble paladins.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, were those the symbols that were on that other laurel? That were on that trap for that laurel?
Can I try to remember? That was the person who tried to interact with that.
Mm-hmm.
Can I also assist?
Well, there's no roll. Yeah, you're right. The Zevin note would remember because she messed with it. She got the roll to figure out what those were.
Oh.
Yeah. Look there.
And maybe one of them's a fake and the other one's the real one. I bet you this is the real one, and that one was a decoy back at your compound, back at
Oh.
your family compound.
Oh man. Now we just have to figure out the correct order to go on these sigils. Because that was the thing. We determined last time that they had to be activated in a certain order.
Do you have any literature you can review that talks about your nation's,
History,
virtues?
yeah.
Something you can
Yeah.
review?
Insight's
Yeah.
part of it.
Your mind book?
Uh-huh. Yep. I am gonna roll insight. I get a +2 to this because of my lore master thing.
Can I help by just trying to talk it through with him?
Certainly could. You'll probably need to.
Yep. Hang on. I am going to spend my last Fabula. Origin, the Noble Republic of Coriostellum. Reroll one of those. Reroll one of those d10s. Oh, come on. Okay, that's 12.
And
oh,
doubles.
and that's doubles.
Mm-hmm.
And I succeed in helping, so it's a 13 total plus your success that's doubles.
So
Probably good enough.
you do get an opportunity from this. Find the prompt.
Save your opportunity till after you get the info. It might be you need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you recall a certain ancient poem that is something you would have, that something some of your relatives who go into spiritualism and priesthood, they'd know this off the top of their head, but you didn't need to study. You became an orator and commander, so you know it academically, but it's not something you hammered into yourself. But at the moment, you're like, wait a minute, let me think about it. This feels familiar. From ash life springs anew, what blooms after the blaze. The path is shrouded, the light unseen. What remains when the fire dims? A shield stands not for itself. What do you defend when the fires rise? The world unfolds to the curious eye. What treasure lies beyond the veil? Many voices, one song. What binds the divided together?
Okay.
Sounds like Unity is the last one.
Yeah. Treasure lies beyond the veil. That's discovery.
Yeah.
Protection. And
Whoops.
the path is shrouded. Remains when the fire dims. Oh wait, there are only 5 lines?
And yet 6 things. Right. To figure out the order.
Oh, I'm ahead. Hold on.
Was a line missed or?
A line was missed. Hold on.
Okay.
Uh,
Good. go, oh, so we must step on the one that isn't part of the poem. Oh,
Oh,
we are big brain.
I see what I did wrong.
The hard part's going to be inserting it in the poem in the correct place.
Yep.
Aha, yeah. Okay, that's the line I missed. Okay. That's why that didn't make sense. And that's actually a neat little way to cover that particular gaffe, is that's you almost missed a line. You're like, that's how it goes, right? Because there's a way to memorize it, and you're like,
Yeah. Wait,
Wait.
I'm missing a few syllables.
there's 6 symbols. No, that's not how it goes. the
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Like I missed a stanza somewhere. Oh, what was it? Da, 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 da.
And then
Oh,
you spent
right.
your point to reroll.
From ash,
Yes,
life
exactly.
springs anew. What blooms after the blaze. The path is shrouded, the light unseen. What remains when the fire dims? A shield stands not for itself. What do you defend when the fires rise? To gain what is sought, one must be lost. What price would you pay to carry the flame? Many voices, one song. What binds the divided together? The world unfolds to the curious eye. What treasure lies beyond the veil? I'll get rid of the old one because that is misleading.
Yep. Okay. To gain what is sought, one must be lost. What price would you pay to carry the flame? That sacrifice.
Yeah.
So here I'm gonna do this. I figure this one is renewal. This one is protection. This one is sacrifice. This one is
This one's
unity.
Unity, yeah.
And this one is probably discovery. And then that would make the second one wisdom. The
It would
path is
have to be.
shrouded, the light unseen. What remains when the fire dims? Hold on. The shrouded, the light unseen. Okay, yeah. All right. I think I'm satisfied with that
Now,
that solution.
now for the
So
real question: are you supposed to step on all of these in that order? Or are you only
do,
supposed to use certain ones?
do I see a
Like
path?
some save and some deal damage to us.
The question is, do I see a path for myself that would lead me to step on those symbols in that order? Like if I wanted to step on one that said renewal and then step on one that said
Yes.
wisdom next. Yeah. So I think I've got this. I must believe in myself. I always do. From ash, life springs anew. What blooms after the blaze? And he steps on renewal. I assume nothing happens.
Step upon renewal. And all is well.
The path is shrouded, the light unseen. What remains when the fire dims? And he steps on wisdom.
All seems to be well.
Okay, that was the one I was unsure of. A shield stands not for itself. What do you defend when the fire rises? Protection. And he looks back at his group.
All seems to be well so far. Hopefully you're right.
To gain what is sought, one must be lost. What price would you pay to carry the flame? And he looks away from the group and takes another step forward. Sacrifice.
Oh, well. I mean, the good thing is I have the danger thing looked up already. But you're fine.
Many voices, one song. What binds the divided together? And he steps onto Unity.
You're very close to the laurel.
The world unfolds to the curious eye. What treasure lies beyond the veil? And he steps on Discovery.
And you're standing before the laurel of flame.
Lucius looks back to the rest of the group.
Da, 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 da.
Aether's just going to give you a couple of thumbs ups. And then 2 more with your ears.
Aww.
Approximating thumbs ups.
7.
If you touch it and you explode, I get dibs on your stuff.
I'm going to say, no, it's party treasure. We all get his stuff.
You divvy up the arms?
called dibs.
I called dibs on his stuff. Oh, God.
You can't call
Classic.
dibs on all his stuff. You can call dibs on, like, one thing he's got.
You might go in pieces.
Brinius jabs him.
Ow.
And he looks at more.
This is your chance to cast Lux on him.
No.
Darn.
Good luck.
He just gives a smile. I'm an Avantis. We make our own luck. And he reaches forward and he touches and takes the laurel if it will have him.
I'll lean over and whisper to 7. Doesn't that sound like famous last words?
The
That sounds
room,
ominous.
the room's walls begin to melt away. Blazing hot. And flowing with superheated rock. Every rune across the floor grows alight. The words repeated in the Koryo tongue, as every tomb finds itself standing a spirit, rising from the sea of souls, staring at the one who holds the laurels. In your hand, you feel a heat, piercing and blinding, a light that illuminates any darkness, yet clear and burning purely, destroying of nothing but itself. And the room fills with a chorus of the various spirits reciting the poem. An ancient poem calling back to those first pilgrims and spiritualists and arcanists that once ascended the pilgrim's path to Novio. And it is in that moment you realize there are many laurels that have been created in Coriostellum's history, each of them recalling a patrician, a grand founder and pillar of the Republic. But in your hands are the laurels of one who never was a patrician, never was a soldier, wasn't even a merchant. were merely a pilgrim. The first of many. The first to see the truth of what lied in Mount Novio. He who would be the Sorcerer King. He who refused it. For he knew that was not, he was to have a laurel of fire, not of gold. And your fabulous spirit is tested. And fate calls to you to be ambitious, to rule, to become the Sorcerer King. But that is not your theme. That is not who you are. And thus, rather than your friends being encircled by a room of fire and magma, with fire spirits trying to burn them up for your glory, stone merely goes back to rest and cools. The spirits return to their tombs, and you hold in your hand the laurels of the first pilgrim.
Oh man.
Yay! Woo!
Fantastic. And you still have an opportunity.
And I still have.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Oh no, that's great. Oh, it's perfect. Anyone have any suggestions? All I can think
Yes.
of is, yeah,
I have a suggestion.
cool.
What I was thinking is you could use it for a plot twist that would enable this now changing room to have that tunnel directly to Mount Novio that we've been looking for. Since he's described the room's walls as melting anyway. Like maybe the passage we need is here.
Would that be something I could push for, GM?
If there was not a tunnel before, you held in your hands the means to meld the world. So a tunnel to a nearby hex, that's of no consequence to the laurels.
Dope. Ah, so cool. Ah.
You guys think that's a good idea or what?
Yeah, no,
Just
I will
tossing
totally
out an
take
idea.
that. Nope, I will take that.
Cool.
And with that, Lucius just walks back to the group, takes off the, assuming that this new laurel is also an accessory.
Yep.
He takes off the previous laurel that he was wearing, and he hands it to Lady Duncan.
I will accept it.
Just to take that, if you would.
Thank you.
And he takes in a deep breath, holds up the laurel, and puts it on his head.
As it hovers short of your brow, you recognize that if you wear this, you forsake the name Avantis and become Lucius the Pilgrim.
Whoa, that's big.
Whoa.
It's cool, but it's big.
Yeah.
Further, gets better. I'm messing with the sheet, sorry. Your identity changes to second, no, it won't be the second, because there's been many pilgrims since then. The last pilgrim to Mount Novio.
Here's a question. Would my theme also change?
I suppose it would. If you
His
wish to change
ambition
it.
is
Technically,
also-
you're supposed to wait till a rest, but I think it would, given this is a relic, it's messing with a lot, so messing with your theme would make sense too.
I don't know about you, but this has a lot of, the whole, what was it, Final Fantasy IV with the Dark Knight turns into a paladin scene thing
Yeah.
going. It has that energy big time. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your character ultimately. But
No,
I'm
I
just
think
tossing that out.
No, I think he's got to do it because the just everything his family has done to him up till now has just shown that he doesn't belong. He's been running from his family for the past couple weeks, but really, let's be honest, he's been running from his family his whole life.
There's only one of them left that hadn't been corrupted by the sorceress, as far as we know.
Yeah.
The woman that we met in Asta. The rest of them are all working with her, so yeah.
I think the big thing is, do you think you can make the name better, or is it better to cast it aside and forge your own path?
Yeah. By casting aside and forging your own path, you're literally telling the entire world, I will never seek to rule us, Coriostella myself. Like, you've given up all hope of becoming the next ruler. You've set aside your nobility for the greater good, right? Like, it's
They'll
a big
survive,
change.
They'll survive,
I
but
like
not unchanged.
Yeah. It's cool.
Mm.
Who needs a country?
Yeah, you have a bigger destiny.
And
Yeah.
he will put on the laurel.
You may choose of your own will what your new theme is. It could be ambition. It just changes what the ambition is.
Yeah.
But you can change that to something else. You may also change, if you wish, your I forget the mechanical term for it. Your special thing that gives you Vibius and Ambrinius.
Oh.
I forget what that's called. But you can keep them, and they basically, if you keep them, they basically they
Also
abandon
forsake
the
Cor-
military. They forsake.
Yeah.
They rebel against the Avantis and become pilgrim knights, basically, which puts them in some trouble. But they be following you, or you tell them you can go home, and you're relieving them of their duties. They won't attack you because they're your friend, and they're like, no, we're not fighting him. We don't care what Avantis does. We'll go to jail or whatever else, but we're going to stay soldiers. Or they set aside the soldiery and go, no, we're following you as pilgrims.
Yeah. I think I would like to keep my boys, my friends.
Quirk,
Because
that's what it's called.
that is
Quirk,
what they are.
I had to look it up for you, but I saw you struggling. I'm like, I can't remember either.
Yeah.
But it's Quirk.
And, as the energy washes over him, it's almost like you see a weight lifted off his shoulders. And he approaches Vibius and Ambrinius. Vibius, Ambrinius. You have done such service for me over the many years, and I haven't always been the most grateful, as great a leader as I've been to the two of you. I will tack that in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I no longer have a right to lead you as a lord of Avantis. But if possible, I would still like to lead you as Lucius.
There is a long pause from Vibius and Ambrinius. I don't think they've ever reflected themselves as particularly religious or superstitious people, but they are people. They are people of Coristellum. They know of the Eternal Flame. They know of the rebellion against the Sorcerer King, and they see now that there is a threat of a return of Sorcerer Kings, and that if that's the path that Avantis will lead them, then that's not the path they should be following. And if there's any hero in in Coriostellum of Corio, that it is you. So, although they will wear the panoply of their former profession, they will cast aside. They very just wordlessly cast aside the cloaks that mark them as Avantis troops, which kind of makes them look, until they get a new set of clothes, like a new cloak of some kind. They kind of just look like sellswords now. Former soldiers who turned sellsword, but eventually in time they will find new cloaks that will be emblazoned with the emblem of the burning of the laurel flame, which you now realize, thinking on it, and actually some of you even have seen that symbol in Corio, but it was very like, it wasn't like tattered or forgotten. It was just kind of rare. Like you would see it once in a while near a very important tree or an old, very important building, and people treated that building as very sacred. Like, no, we don't. You might graffiti on that building, but not that building. That's just, you just don't do it. Why? I don't know why. You just don't. It's sacrosanct, even if people forgot why.
So, I am a pilgrim now, I suppose. Taking one last pilgrimage to Mount Novio.
So, how does it feel?
Different.
You look like you got a new spring step. I think this will be good for you.
Well, just about anything is good for me. I'm Lucius. I make anything work.
Those are more famous last words, aren't they? All right.
Of course.
I'll sort of indicate the tunnel that appeared and just sort of, yeah. Well, I guess our way is open.
And as we continue on, I think Lucius would be the last to leave. And before we enter the tunnel, like in its entirety, he looks back at a couple of the banners of Avantis that Vibius and Imbernius took off, and he just sort of bows his head a bit, and a tear rolls down his cheek, and he leaves.
Did you cast off your own markings and throw them aside as well?
I like to think that those markings literally burned away.
Fair enough.
Like, he didn't even mean to do that. The Laurels just kind of knew what he was doing.
Take care of it for him, sure. Okay.
Hey, come on, come here. So he's gonna like wrap an arm around him and like give him a good nuggie for good measure. Welcome to the Normie Club now.
I'm gonna go pound him on the back. That's right, you're just one of us now.
And he just starts. There was a single tear. Now he's just crying.
Schnoble title.
Who needs them?
And thus a destiny was realized in the noble Republic of Coriostellum. However, there are many others who would defy fate and embrace and forge their own destinies. And Mount Novio would test them all. For now, everyone who's watching, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing, thank you very much for playing. And next time, we'll see what happens as they face off with those who would challenge Mount Novio. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
So you're gonna choose a new name or what? Are we just gonna have to call you Lucius, no last name?
Lucius
Yeah.
the Pilgrim.
Yeah, I mean he's Lucius.
Lucius the Last.
Is the your middle name now?
I think it always was.
Well, it's better than Lucius the Just. And people would go, what do you mean, like he's a just person? No, he's
He's
Lucius.
just Lucius.
This makes historians'
End up
lives
being
hell.
Lucius the Just because of that, right?
Oh god, it's like just Ken.
Just Lucius.
Oh, jeez.